What's your opinion on the rise of cheating in school? We're running out of time. I just finished a physics midterm and the prof told people to stop cheating several times. Let me get this straight. You were in the middle of a difficult physics midterm, and during it, people were openly cheating, and what the prof did was say, stop. Do you see why that might lead to the rise of cheating? Do you understand? Do you see that? By the way, when you say people, do you mean you? I don't have any stats that cheating is more or less prevalent in anything but essays with ChatGPT. In which case, I think I'm fairly confident there's been a drastic rise in cheating. People are using ChatGPT regularly to cheat on things that would normally. In person, I don't think people are more or less cheating. I mean, if technology makes a certain aspect of cheating easier, people are going to cheat more. That's like incentives in math. My technology that I had to cheat in high school was that I could cheat my attention span by playing, what was it, like Brickman on my calculator. When you could put calculator games on your TI-84 and I would just play that fucking game. What was it called? It was Block Dude. It was Block Dude. Yeah, I used to play a fuck ton of Block Dude, dude. Block Dude was a great way to just fucking pass the time. The demand for cheating changes very little. Well, here's the thing. This is similar to how cheating on taxes works. They did some really cool, interesting deep dive studies on how prevalence of tax fraud in certain zip codes. And here's what happens. If somebody cheats on their taxes or cheats on a test in school and gets away with it and you know about it, suddenly you start to feel like you're falling behind by not cheating. If assuming they don't get punished and they cheat, the incentive becomes for other people, like they feel like they have to do it to keep up. And so it trickles up over time. Unless they're like, there's a crackdown, it will always trickle up over time as it becomes like a critical mass. As more people realize that like they have to do it to keep up. So you'll see like 2 zip codes that are close to each other and one will have almost everybody cheating and one will have almost nobody cheating. It's because like somebody did it, publicized it, got away with it, or like told to their friends and it spreads virally. True, I never used ChatGPT until I saw other people use it to write essays in class. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you start to feel that you don't want to try if they're doing it as well. I watched a guy pull up ChatGPT during a systems programming test in order to look at the answers. It felt so infuriating. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It spreads like via almost word of mouth in that people want to do it because they feel like other people are doing it. They don't want to do it. Almost every participant would prefer not to do it, but feels like they almost have to in order to keep the level of the standard. They don't want to fall behind. It's like cheating FOMO. Yeah. Isn't that on some level like steroids in sports? Yeah. 100%. It's like Lance Armstrong and the Tour de France. He was the best of the cheaters because everyone cheated. It's like you almost have to give it to him. I cheat not because I need to, but for the thrill of it. Boy's gonna rob a bank in a few years. You have a adrenaline fucking addiction. My friends and I bought Apple Watches in high school to cheat on tests. Shit was so easy. All right, Danny Ocean, good job, bro. It's fucking easy no matter which way you do it. I want you to know it's like not that hard. Half the teachers don't even know this shit works. Although I guess there's got to be more like millennial ass teachers, right? Who at least grew up with this shit and then cheated themselves with technology and then are more aware. I am coming from an era where all my teachers were boomery or like Gen X and they didn't know shit about shit. The very classic, this is not even really a cheat in my mind. It's cheating on time. The classic thing that I would pull, the gambit that I would pull, is where you open up the Word file that you're supposed to send in a hex editor and you just scramble all the code or whatever. And so it looks like a normal file and then you send it in and it's the right size and everything, but they can't open it. So you're like final paper, .doc, and you send it in and they try to open it and it just says corrupted or error. And so they email and they're like, hey, can you send us, it didn't work. Can you send another one? And you bought yourself another day. That's an all-time classic. You just get one more day because sometimes you need another fucking day. But I assume some teachers are wise to that now. That doesn't work now. I mean, yeah, that worked for me like a fucking charm because every teacher I had was old enough with technology that it was like, they thought it was their mistake. Every teacher was almost apologizing. Like, hey, I'm so sorry, but I can't seem to get your file to open. Do you think you can send me another one? Like they would think it was their fault. And I'd be like, oh, no worries, please. Absolutely no problem. It works on my machine, but I'm happy to send it to you. Just pay the teacher TBH. Are you fucking Richie Rich? What? Are you fucking Elon Musk's kid? Techno Max? How are you gonna buy out every teacher, bro? Also, approaching them with that bribe, how do you start that bribe? Because like, if they don't accept, now you're like triple screwed. Now you've failed the test and you've offered to bribe them. Honestly, in high school, if you ask for an extension, most will just give you one unless they are a fucking asshole. Bro, you're not entitled to an extension. Bro, what are you talking about? I'm sure if you ask nicely and you have a good rapport with a teacher, I don't think this is true. You can't just come in and be like, you fucking bitch, where's my extension? Wow, won't give me an extension, huh? Even though I skipped all your classes and didn't do any of the work. What are you talking about? No, I'm sure a lot of them will say no. Although there's a corollary to that. If you are like a B student and you're trying to get an A and you want an extension, it's not worth their time. But if you are about to fail, they'll often give you any extension just to avoid to have to deal with the hassle of failing you. High school really doesn't want to fail anyone, almost. So if you're like on the verge of failing, you can do almost anything to like get it back up to a fucking C- or what, D. But if you're trying to like push for grades, you're not gonna get it. Because for the professor, it's such a hassle for them to fail you that it's better that you skate by, which is good for all of us in the long run. It's very good. A slow erosion of all standards is good for everyone. Only reason I passed medical school, that makes me feel safe. And you know what? I'm really happy because I'm gonna get to bankrupt myself to get your fucking care. I'm so glad that I have to take out a fucking 50 grand loan or something to have you fucking treat me for a stab wound. I've now heard people talking about sports betting in my school. I didn't think the brain rot was actually real. You think I'm just making it up? When I talk about this stuff, do you think I'm just literally pulling it out of my... It's all real. It's all real. The rise in smoking among Gen Z, the brain rot, the fucking real estate bubble in China. It's all real things. I feel like you guys have zero outside knowledge, so you just don't know. It's one... You're like, you're Plato in the cave, dude. I feel like I have... Any of this stuff is verifiable. Just Google. Do you really believe in brain rot? Brain rot is a funny name for shrinking attention spans that is very real. That is factually provably real. All the people at my high school talk about is sports gambling. That's so fucked. That's so fucking sick. Sports gambling and Zins, dude. Hook them up. These kids are killing it. All the people at my high school talk about is Skibbity Toilet. They're a little old for Skibbity Toilet, right? It's not really a high school thing. That's a Gen Alpha iPad kid. You mean elementary school? You mean Miss Johnson's first grade class? You go to high school? What are you talking about? Went to a Super Bowl party and we all talked about web dev during the game. This is the most fucking Silicon Valley pilled sad story ever. What the fuck are you guys doing? You must get out of the Bay Area. Super Bowl, we can talk about it before we jump into the ads. You know, if you're someone who didn't give a shit which team won, pretty good game. Pretty damn good game. At least the last half. First half was boring as shit. Last half pretty interesting. Assuming you're not of the opinion that the entire thing to a T was scripted by Joe Biden. Which it may have been. Biden did confirm it on Twitter. Assuming Joe Biden didn't draw up every play to a T and then go over it with all the players and tell them exactly what to do. Assuming that didn't happen, it was a pretty good game. It was a pretty damn good game. Pretty fun to watch. Especially after it started out so boring, everyone was complaining, and then it kind of like got close, got heated overtime. New overtime rules came in handy. Actually rigged game, Larry David levels of script writing. The ratings have never been higher, but the art of the game is dead. The West has fallen. Facts, dude. It was the end of the West. I could just tell. The second Mahomes made that final drive, I was like, wait a minute, this is the end of the West. We're applauding this. This is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause. Natalie Portman. Fuck San Francisco. Lions should have been in. I mean, again, what do you mean should have? They lost. You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying, but they lost. That's how it works. You know, it's like should have is an odd word for it. I went to a Super Bowl party and my artsy friends watched a David Lynch film while I Subway Surfers the game on a laptop. That's not a Super Bowl party. I don't know how to define this for you. That is not a Super Bowl party. That is a David Lynch film festival with you pulling out a laptop to watch a fucking bootleg stream. That's... You have completely misunderstood. A Super Bowl party is there to watch it.